We are moving today. All right, this is Wall Street. Are we live? Are we live? We are live right now. Okay. So Wall Street sizing up. You found the channel. This is the stock market news today. We do it every day. This is the quick bites, the news and the notes for the CNBC crowd. Although we give you more micro news for the geeks and the traders and the misfits. And with that, we try to do it in under about 10 minutes. So let's get going. The markets had a hell of a day today. I mean, it was up and down, but the NASDAQ finished down 223. Dow Jones was down 144, and the S&P was down 31. You can see the blood on the screen there. One of the top movers today was rocket companies. I believe they were just formed by SPAC. I could be wrong about that, but that is a meme stock from Reddit. Pushing them up. Also, one of the ones that we had was that we had a call on about 2 weeks ago of 26% was Fortress Biotech. So let's get to the news, and actually let's get to the top 5 analyst upgrades today. Beyond Meat was upgraded to a buy from neutral at Citi. Number 2 was Zoom, of course. Zoom, we'll talk about them in just a minute. Had a phenomenal earnings call. Zoom upgraded to overweight. That was by Piper Sandler. And the Dow Inc. So I believe that's Dow. Is it Dow that has all the canned fruit and the canned veggies? Overweight from equal weight at Wells Fargo. Londell Basel, LYB, upgraded to overweight from equal weight at Wells Fargo. And number 5, Norwegian Cruise Lines. The reopening, the rebirth of the cruise lines is now hitting outperform from a neutral at Macquarie. I hadn't seen that bank in a long time. So with that said, let's get started. Elizabeth Warren, you may have heard this on CNBC, so I'm sorry about this one, but Elizabeth Warren has introduced a new wealth tax, co-sponsored by, guess who, Bernie Sanders. The ultra-millionaire tax would act like it would tax essentially the net worth is what they're saying, right? The proposal includes a 2% of those with a net worth of $50 million to, it says $1 billion. Oh, at $1 billion, it'd be 3% if you're over $1 billion in net worth. It's estimated that the tax could generate $2.8 trillion in income for the U.S. federal government over the next 10 years. I'm all about that. The problem with that is, one, I know that they wrote in there that how the billionaires would be taxed like 40% if they denounce their citizenship. That's kind of weird. I'm not sure that that's legal. And then number 2 is that how are you going to, what's the word I'm looking for? How are you going to estimate their assets and get an appraisal on their assets so that you can tax them 2% every year on that net worth? And so you'll see a nice little small micro fraud industry creep up. All right, next up, Keith Gill, aka Roaring Kitty, Deep Effin' Value, has had a financial broker's license revoked. You probably saw this. FINRA spokesperson explained that this is typical. The rest as a result of a person being terminated from leaving a registered firm. Later this week, Gill will appear before Massachusetts financial regulators as part of an ongoing investigation into his trading activity. He's also facing a lawsuit for violating securities laws, which I think that he'll win and walk away almost unscathed. So good for him. According to research, thought this was very interesting, guys. Really interesting fact. According to research by Hendrik Bessembinder, most investment returns, I want to say that he was an analyst, a big-time analyst that left, and now he's got his own research firm. Fact check me on that. Most investment returns are concentrated on a few stocks. 1% of all companies made up for all the global net worth creation last year. 60% of the stocks underperformed the 1-month Treasury bill, which averages, as we know, about 1.24%. So, I'm sorry, it wasn't just last year, it was over the last 28 years. So 1% of all companies made up all the global net worth creation the last 28 years. 60% of the stocks didn't even measure up to the T-bill of 1.24%. What does this mean? It means that investors in the stock market should be trying to identify these superstar companies, which, if they go up 5x, have the potential to move up another 5x. So what that tells me as a trader, it tells me that when you have a winner, you let them run. If it has a 5% dip, 6% dip, whatever, right? At some point, you got to cut the loss. So I get that, and you got to take profits. I get that, right? But essentially, higher returns beget higher returns. Higher stock prices beget higher stock prices. All right. Otherwise, investors are better off just investing in ETFs or low yield investments. Kevin O'Leary on Shark Tank has admitted that digital currencies are here to stay and said that he has invested 3% of his portfolio in Bitcoin and Ethereum. I believe he's estimated to be worth about $300 million. So that's quite a bit. Zoom, as you know, reported revenue overall in 2020 yesterday. I wanted to include this because it was great. 326% up to $2.65 billion for 2020. Its profit increased from $21 million to $671 million. So congratulations if you are in on them. Hertz Global, they're going through bankruptcy. Well, they just got rescued. They will receive a $4.2 billion rescue investment from Knighthead Capital Management and Ceteris management firms in order to help Hertz manage its way out of the bankruptcy process. Next up, Square. Square Financial Services has started operations. That's the bank. The bank's main purpose is to offer business loans and deposit products for Square customers. Square said the new division will begin by offering loans through its already existing Square Capital product, which provides credit services for businesses using Square Payment Service. That's what I said. Square Capital currently offers loans through Celtic Bank. That will be going away. The bank is not expected to have a material impact on the company's balance sheet, net revenue, or gross profit just yet. It will operate under an asset-light business model by selling loans to third-party investors. All right. YouTube Shorts is now rolling out in the U.S. This was featured. They tested it in India through September. Its functions just like TikTok. Go figure. So this is Google now trying to copy TikTok, except that you can dislike videos. Shorts will also show up on the channel's page and in subscription feeds like normal videos. TikTok is expected to hit 1 billion users in 2021. Thus, that's why YouTube Shorts is being rolled out. Now, TikTok, the majority of its users are in China, with only around 40 million users in the U.S. for TikTok. YouTube Shorts receives more than 3.5 billion daily views in India, but TikTok has been banned in India since June. So just keep that in mind. But if you have a YouTube channel, you're definitely going to want to do Shorts. Basically, just post your TikToks to your YouTube Shorts. Turns out money can buy happiness. Check this out. So we all thought the money happiness range was about 75, and you're not too far off. It looks like it's about 80. So this is the blue is evaluate well-being, someone's perception of their life upon reflection, and the white is experience well-being, a person's mood and feeling throughout the daily life. And as you see, the more you make, the better you feel about yourself. I think that's great. I think that I feel better about myself when I started making more money at the age of 28. Anyway, United States Center of Disease Control and Preventive announced on Tuesday today, due to the Ebola disease outbreaks, airlines will be required to start Thursday to collect contact information of passengers on flights from Guinea and from the Congo. Gatorade came out with the GX sweat patch. It's pretty cool. It's a wearable that tests sweat when you sweat, right? So to let the water know when it's best, so to let the wearer know when it's best to rehydrate after working out. They are sold in packages of 2 for $25. The patches offer insight into how much bodily fluid was lost during a workout and how much sodium is needed to be replenished. All right, we reported on this yesterday that SOS. Let me bring up the SOS. I know they're China. Well, I think this is them. Yeah, it is. All right. Hindenburg Research has accused the Chinese blockchain company SOS, which we said this yesterday, of fraud in a series of tweets. Here's the thing: Hindenburg Research gained notoriety last year when they accused Nikola Motors (NKLA). Remember them? A fraud. So they've got a little bit of a history of being correct. SOS lost 1/3 of its market cap intraday after Hindenburg reported midday on Friday. The research firm discovered that SOS's headquarters, you see the chart here, you see the big pump and the run up, and it did recover some yesterday. The research firm discovered that SOS headquarters and office addresses were fake. Hindenburg explained how Dr. Yan, who I believe is the CEO, fabricated his background and credentials. So Dr. Yan apparently had another company called FXK, which I believe was some kind of crypto exchange. FXK's website did not exist before February 17, 2021, although its deal with SOS took place a month before. The Hindenburg team reverse searched FXK's website images and discovered that they belonged to another Chinese crypto mining company called RHY. They contacted RHY regarding the images, and the company acknowledged that SOS had copied RHY's website. So it's a blockchain Bitcoin mining, and wow. And people still give it, I don't even know what the market cap here is. Do I have it now? But anyway, all right. Satoshi Nakamoto's second successor, Vladimir von der Leyen, I believe it's how it said, urges crypto exchanges to delist Bitcoin SBY, because this is where Craig Wright is, where a lot of his wealth is. Is in BSV, which is Craig Wright is suing. God, I'm screwing this up. Craig Wright is suing Vlad, and he's suing all the Bitcoin core developers because they won't give him access to a Bitcoin wallet that he believes is his. So that's why Vladimir here came out and said we need to delist BSV. Craig Wright is an independent, wealthy, litigious businessman and dubious self-proclaimed inventor of Bitcoin. Most people believe, 99% of people believe that is not true. Microsoft said that its new intelligent speakers will be able to automatically generate transcripts from a meeting and identify up to 10 unique voices. The Vice President of Nigeria calls crypto regulation. He calls for the regulation, but essentially what he's really saying on the flip side of that coin is, but we can't kill the goose that could lay the golden egg. Chinese fintech Ant Group has informed its employees that it will find a way to monetize employee shares by April. The announcement regarding short-term liquidation follows its canceled IPO due to regulatory changes in China. China shut them down for Jack Ma speaking out. But so they're just trying to give their employees a break there because they thought an IPO was imminent. Twitter will begin labeling tweets that spread misinformation about COVID. Moderators will oversee the labeling, and users with 5 labeled tweets face permanent suspension. If you watch Joe Rogan, who moderates the moderators? Last but not least, Chinese state-owned capital is now indirectly backing a major Bitcoin mining business. I'm not for this. 500.com's recently acquired major Bitcoin mining pool, BTC.com. BTC.com was once the largest Bitcoin mining pool and still remains one of the top 5 by hash rate. And it accounts for the entire Bitcoin blockchain network, about 10%. So, and 500.com is definitely state-backed. So, there you have it. Follow us on Twitter at stocktrade.tips. We're sponsored by stocktrade.tips. They have one goal. That goal is to help you essentially profit off the insider knowledge of the hedge funds. And they do it through SMS when they believe a position is still in the money and going to grow. With that being said, guys, we say it every day. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate my subs. All you guys watching this. Watch your six. You go hard in paint. Cheers, guys. Have a great night. We'll see you.